Coming up on SAU News, a university task force will make recommendations on how Southern will teach classes this fall.
Nursing grads are on the front lines saving lives in the battle against the coronavirus.
And when you live on a farm, well, there are chores to do.
All this and more coming up. SAU News starts now. Hi, I'm Hannah Devanzo. Welcome to SAU News, a production of the TV news reporting class in the School of Journalism and Communications. I'm reporting from my home in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And I'm Jacob Fisher, reporting from my home in Calhoun, Georgia. Now, since spring break, our SAU News team has been dispersed to their respective hometowns all over the USA, where they are contributing to these stories in this newscast.
Here's a look at our top stories for the first week of May.
Healthcare workers continue to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic with professionalism and courage. SAU News reporter Katie Castillo brings us the story of a nursing grad who is on the front lines in a local hospital.
This is Hesmali Sutton, a registered nurse in the emergency department at Advent Health Gordon. She graduated from Southern in May of 2019 with a nursing degree. When she graduated, she never imagined her first year as a nurse would be in the middle of a pandemic. COVID-19 has had a big impact on her life, professionally and personally. No one is immune to the emotional struggles that come with dealing with life and death issues on the front line.
It's really hard to be positive when you see so many sick people and so much death and stuff, but then there's those recoveries that make it all worth it.
According to Sutton, the response in the community has been very positive, so that motivates her to keep going. They have made face mask and face shield donations to the hospital, and a couple of weeks ago, they also shared their appreciation towards healthcare workers.
The community came out to the hospital, filled all the parking spots in the hospital, and had a prayer for us, which was really cool. It was just honestly one of the most awesome experiences that I have ever seen in my whole life, just to see the community come together and do that.
Liz Mary Rosales, Sutton's sister, who is a nursing student, shares her concerns.
My biggest concern is the fact that this virus is potentially going to cause a lot of nurses to burn out and other healthcare personnel as well. This is what they were trained to do, and they obviously know what they're doing, and they have all the skills and the knowledge, but at the same time, this is a very overwhelming time for them, and there's a lot of heavy workload that that they're not accustomed to, or that is more than usual.
Sutton and her sister encourage students to take the situation seriously. The coronavirus is not being selective. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, or how healthy you may be. For SAU News, I'm Katie Castillo.
Looking for that summer job? Well, sharpen your pencils because it's a tough market out there. SAU News reporter Hannah Moyer talked with a university career counselor who offers tips on finding work.
Southern did allow some students to stay on campus to finish up their internships. However, according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, 19% of employers have revoked their internships. Another 22% are still considering revoking theirs, while others are switching online. With 78% of internships changing their summer programs, it may be easier to just get a summer job. Daniel Olson, Southern's Career Services Coordinator, helps students prepare to get jobs and has many tips for interviewing.
Employers like hiring people they know or people they've interacted with. And so normally when the student is looking for a particular situation, I'm asking them, okay, well, who do we know? Who's in your network? Are you using LinkedIn?
Mr. Olson also gave some tips on how to improve your interviewing. First tip is to get a lot of details about yourself. You can really set yourself apart from other students if you have real, tangible details and experiences to share in an interview. The second is to know your strengths. Giving examples of your strengths will also show what you've done and why it is your strength. The last is to know why you're awesome. When you go into an interview, have a list of 3 to 5 things that makes you awesome, things that could possibly impress your employer. For more tips like these, make sure to visit Southern's Career Services website at southern.edu/careers. For SAU News, I'm Hannah Moyer.
Creating a LinkedIn account is a great way to start your job hunt.
With the end of the semester right around the corner, our SAU News reporter Gia Arroyo asked a few graduating seniors to share their favorite memory of their time here at Southern.
So I think that to bring this to my whole 4 years to one memory would be so much because I've made so many. But when I think of just my memories here at Southern, I think of the friends that I've been able to make along the way. One of my goals when I came in as a freshman, other than doing good in school, was to make a ton of new friends. And I'm so glad that I've gotten the opportunity to do that, whether it was with the department or through Merge or just in anything that I've been able to join, any club that I've been able to join. I've been able to make so many lifelong friends along the way, and I'm truly grateful for that experience.
My favorite moment from my college experience was the night we had the dodgeball tournament, and me and a couple of the boys, we went over to my place, made a big lunch, ate, had fun, just chilled, and then we went out to the dodgeball tournament that night, and we won. We did not expect that. We just kept throwing balls, and we ended up winning. And then we went out to celebrate at Old Chicago, and man, it's probably one of the best moments I remember from college.
After looking back over the last 4 years, I would have to actually say that my favorite memory is probably from this last semester. I was able to be a part of the social media strategies class, and we were able to put together a project that united all the social medias in the School of Journalism and Communication, and we created a spin-off of The Office called the SJC Office. Honestly, it was like one of the best memories and like most fun time because we were able to like come together as a class. We came up with the script and then put it all together, and it was like literally the best thing.
We wish our seniors the best in the next chapter of their lives. And don't forget those Southern memories.
Earlier this month, an EF3 tornado destroyed hundreds of homes just minutes from our campus. It didn't take long for Southern students to take action.
Junior math and secondary education major Jocelina Madrigal has lived in the Chattanooga area her whole life. She has been going to different job sites helping residents in need. Although the work can be tiring, the community finds a way to lift her back up.
The coolest thing to me that's been, like, every place that we've gone to, it's like we go there, we show up, like, we're the ones who are here to help, but then like they come out and they're like giving us water and like giving us, like, they're giving to us too, and we're trying to give to them, and it's just like this constant like give and give and give, and it's really cool to see everybody kind of like band together in this community and see everyone just like try to help each other and lean on one another. Yeah.
If you'd like to get involved in helping with tornado relief, you can sign up through the University Church's website, and that's www.collegedalechurch.com.
Quarantine has limited the amount of time that we are allowed to be outside. SAU News reporter Estefania Sanchez brings a piece of the outside to you.
I'm standing outside of my house in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and what may look like another regular house to you actually has a couple of hidden surprises back there. Let's go check it out.
Sunny days and clear skies are the perfect weather conditions to explore the farm behind my dad's house. There are a number of animals on this farm, from noisy chickens to friendly goats. But there is one animal in particular that is my favorite to visit. This is Bert, a 3-year-old blue roan. He is my dad's prized possession. My dad rides Bert almost every day, training him how to perform tricks and listen to cues. But something seems to be distracting Bert lately. His girlfriend. That's right, Bert has a girlfriend. This is Ruby, a Tennessee walking horse. She was brought on the farm 2 weeks ago, and they have been inseparable since. Taking care of a farm is no small task. My dad wakes up early every morning to feed all of his animals. He refills water, cleans the barn, and brushes the horses. With so much to do, farming can easily become a second job. This is Chris Day, my dad's neighbor and good friend since he moved here. Chris and his son, Cade, come by at least once a week to help my dad with the farm chores. Chris says he has learned that he needs to keep a sharp eye on Bert because he can be very sneaky.
Bert has figured out how to let himself out by pulling on the rope. So I put this thing here, and then he can't get out on his own.
Although it is a lot of work, caring for his animals is a comfort to my dad. He says that it reminds him of his childhood and enjoys spending time with them.
Me gusta el campo, me gusta la agricultura y por supuesto eso incluye animales. Entonces, por eso compro animales y me gusta convivir con ellos.
While quarantine is keeping us all inside, I hope that seeing all these animals brought a little bit of the outside to you at home. Stay safe, everybody. From SAU News, I'm Estefania Sanchez.
Even if you don't have farm animals in your backyard, taking advantage of the warmer weather and heading outside is a great way to pass the time.
The current status of COVID-19 has left many plans for the future up in the air.
We have appointed a task force, a group of smart people who are going to help us answer those questions and figure out when we're going to start, what might be different and what might be the same. And I can assure you, as soon as we know, which I trust will be in just a couple of weeks, we're going to let you know too.
Students can expect an update in the next few weeks on what the fall semester will look like. Currently, all summer classes have been moved to online and Smart Start has been canceled.
Southern's campus is eerily quiet. A few students are still living here, including some international students who couldn't go home. One of those is our SAU News reporter, Paula Mora, who shares what it's like to be campus bound.
Things on Southern's campus are a lot quieter than they used to be. With classes taking place online and employees working remotely, everything seems a bit empty. But 63 students, most of them international, remain on campus. After petitioning to stay due to academic hardship or difficulty to return home, these students were allowed to stay here in Southern Village. But life is a bit different from before. Freshman Bianca Guarino from Malawi is one of the students who was left behind. Before, she always used to eat at CARES and the cafeteria. But since these facilities are now closed, Guarino has been doing her own cooking.
Made me happy, but at the same time sad because
Guarino says she has been trying to keep a normal routine, but not being able to see her friends has made everything a lot more difficult.
I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes, sometimes I just sit in my room and then I get bored of my phone and I'm like, I need to do something. When the campus was full, I would go bother someone or like tell someone like, hey, we should go do something.
Those who remain on campus had to agree to some rules. This includes an 11 p.m. curfew, no night lifts, and no outside visitors. Joel Wright from the list says though it was hard to adapt to the rules, being on campus is a blessing.
This area on a whole, it's not as populated, so I can still go outside, I can still walk around, I still can get that fresh air. Not like other people that are around the U.S. that are having to stay in their homes all day.
Wright likes to pass his time by going hiking on the biology trails or walking around the Greenway. Another popular pastime for those left behind is bike riding. Almost half of the 40 students I surveyed say they do this on a regular basis. Students who are still on campus are supposed to leave by May 10, but some, like Borino and Wright, are requesting to stay since the borders of their countries have been shut down. For SAU News, I am Paola Mora reporting.
Usually 4 people stay in one village apartment, but to enforce social distancing, deans have limited that number to 2.
For most of us in quarantine, technology has become an even more important part of our daily lives, including all of our schoolwork, spiritual activities, and social interactions. But as reporter Nick Cox discovered, all that additional screen time has had negative effects.
As of recent months, people under quarantine are spending more of their time using personal technology. In 2019, Vox Media reported that the average adult spent more than 3.5 hours on their mobile devices. Research is indicating that this has increased even more during the coronavirus pandemic. I did my own survey of some Southern students who are living under quarantine conditions. I found that their average time on a mobile phone was much higher than the average adult spends online. spending so much time on our screens, it's important for us to take into consideration the health implications we may face. This week, we spoke with counselor Tiffany Bartell about the overall health impact of increased technology use.
That light can actually inhibit your body's ability to release melatonin, all those things that you need to go to sleep. And then two, depending on how you're using your device, it can be really overstimulating. If you're scrolling through Instagram, you may not realize that it may be making you more anxious. And so, how you use your phone and what you're doing with it's really important. Again, what time of day and what are you doing?
Finding new ways to take breaks and doing peaceful activities may be good alternatives to technology.
According to university counselors and health experts, it's important to be intentional and find balance in our use of digital devices. That's all the news we have for now. SAU News is a production of the TV news reporting class, which is taught in Southern School of Journalism and Communication. If you have a story idea, drop us a note on our Instagram page at SAU_news. I'm Hannah Devonzo, reporting from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And I'm Jake Fisher, reporting from Calhoun, Georgia. On behalf of our news team, stay safe and be well. See you next week on SAU News.